My mom ditched us to find herself and came back 20 years later, giving me parenting advice. She called me screaming after I gave her my last gift. My mother left us when I was 16, walked out on 4 kids, me being the oldest, my youngest brother only 7. She left a note saying she needed to find herself, that motherhood was suffocating her dreams. Dad worked nights to keep us fed while I raised my siblings, helped with homework, packed lunches, and went to parent-teacher conferences pretending to be older than I was. She never sent money, never called to check if we had food. My little brother stopped asking when mommy was coming home after the first year. Dad died of a heart attack when I was 23, probably from working himself to death, and I became the legal guardian to my youngest siblings. I raised them right despite everything, got my teaching degree at night while working days. My siblings all graduated from high school, 2 went to college, and 1 started his own business. When I had my own 2 kids with my husband, I promised myself they'd never feel abandoned. We're not rich, but my kids know they're loved. My daughter plays violin, and my son loves robotics. We eat dinner together every night, help with homework without being asked, and show up for every single event. My mother was living who knows where during these years, occasionally surfacing on my aunt's social media. Pictures from Vegas, Miami, different boyfriends, talking about her journey of self-discovery. She never asked about the kids she left behind, never sent a birthday card. My siblings and I had a pact not to talk about her. 6 months ago, she showed up at my grandmother's house, 53 and broke, saying she wanted to repair family bonds. Grandmother took her in because she's too soft-hearted. Suddenly, my mother was at every holiday, every birthday, acting like nothing happened. But then came the parenting criticism. She'd watch me with my children and start offering advice. You're hovering too much. Children need more freedom to explore. You're creating anxiety by being so protective. This from the woman who left 4 kids to raise themselves. At my son's school play, she pulled me aside because I was taking too many pictures. You're living through your children instead of letting them be independent, she said. I bit my tongue so hard it bled. The comments got worse. She'd lecture about emotional intelligence while her own kids spent years in therapy. Talk about building resilience while my brother still had abandonment issues at 25. Explain the importance of letting children fail, while her children had failed because she wasn't there. Last week was the breaking point. My daughter's piano recital at the community center. My mother showed up 40 minutes late, reeking of wine. She sat behind me, criticizing how I was making my daughter nervous by being so invested. When my daughter finished her piece and looked for me in the audience, I stood up, clapping. My mother grabbed my arm, hissing that I was embarrassing my child with excessive praise. That's when 20 years of rage surfaced. I told her she had no right to judge anyone's parenting. She started crying, playing victim, saying I was cruel and unforgiving. People were staring. My daughter was watching from the stage, confused. My husband took the kids to the car while my mother followed me outside, wailing about mistakes and growth and how she'd learned so much on her journey. She actually used the word journey. My sister arrived to pick up her son and saw what was happening. She laughed, actually laughed, and told our mother she had some nerve. Mother turned on her, started lecturing about forgiveness and family bonds. My sister reminded her about the time she missed her high school graduation to go to Burning Man with some guy named Phoenix. Yesterday, I went to my grandmother's house while my mother was at her part-time job at a crystal shop, because of course that's where she works. I left a box on her bed. Every Mother's Day card we made for her that she never received. Report cards she never saw. Pictures from graduations, weddings, and births of grandchildren she'd never met. A USB drive with 18 years of voicemails from my brothers asking where she was. At the bottom, a letter from my youngest brother saying he forgave her, but never wanted to see her again. She called me screaming 2 hours later. How dare I ambush her with guilt? How I didn't understand her struggles. How society forced women into motherhood. I let her rant, then said one thing. Your kids succeeded despite you, not because of you. Stay away from my children. She threatened to show up anyway, claim grandparent rights, whatever she could think of. I reminded her that abandonment was documented, that courts don't favor parents who disappear for 18 years. Grandmother called later, saying mother had locked herself in the guest room, crying about how her children hated her. Good. Maybe now she'll stop teaching me how to be the parent she never was.